Hey guys, this is Bot Gang. Welcome to our first ever podcast.
Yes, today it is just me and Addison, and we are like the founders of Mod Gang. So we thought we would start a podcast, just the two of us, and we will slowly add more members to the podcast.
Yes, I am excited.
I am too. So for the first episode, we thought we'd give a little shorter episode about a background of Mod Gang. So Addison, you wanna? Oh wait.
So, me and Colin first met in high school Spanish class.
Yes. You were in like what, ninth grade, and I was 10.
Yeah.
Sophomore and freshman.
Yeah, sophomore and a freshman.
You know, that's something most people don't realize about our group is there is quite an age gap.
Yeah, there is. There's all the way. Right now we got 15-year-olds to 18-year-olds.
Yes. Yeah, and everything in between, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we have like 4 15-year-olds. That'd be the twins and the Isaacs. And we got,
I'm 17.
yeah, him and someone else you have not met yet who might be in a podcast at some point.
Yes.
His name is Liam. That's all you get to know about him.
And hopefully he will be in a film too.
Yes. Which takes us... We'll come back to the origins later, but it takes us to our next topic, which is our films.
Yes, so hopefully soon we will be making Bounty 2.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is something we keep pushing back. As you may notice, we have Deathmatch series, and then there's Domicile, which both have taken place. And both of them I've teased that there will be the next Bounty soon, and yet every time I do that, it's been like a year. So
yes, it's hard to get the whole group together and willing to film.
Yes, and if you notice, like most of the films just have a few of us at a time, and then like it'll be like in a different setting, and it'll have different characters, and then it's just hard to get everyone to film now. It's not like the garage used to be. It was super easy just to get everyone together and to work on it.
Yeah. That was last summer before we were all working and busy.
Yeah, we none of us had a life. Now some of us do, so stuff happens.
You get older.
Yes, but anyway, the garage was completely inspired by literally our brains combined to make a very stupid yet entertaining idea of cloning twin brothers.
About 5 million times.
Yeah, we did it so many times, and in the whole like, I don't know if you haven't seen it, I would watch it before you continue listening, but there were so many random things that happened in that had nothing to do with the plot, but we just decided to throw in, and if you look back, you're like, what does this have to do with the plot? Literally nothing. We just decided to throw it in there.
Yeah, I mean, they're not supposed to be perfect films. Supposed to be pretty funny and cheesy.
Yeah, completely just corny, but I mean, some of the action scenes are kind of cool.
Yeah.
Especially considering we have no like camera crew. It's literally us acting and filming and directing and editing all at the same time. So
yes. So
yeah, I mean they haven't done all that well compared to some of our other videos, which almost entirely are just nonsense that do well.
Yeah.
Our videos of the twins suffering different pains generally seem to do pretty well. So
yes.
If you want more of those, leave a comment below, and we'll make sure to shoot them and stab them more often. I probably shouldn't say that on YouTube.
The toe stubbing competition was very awesome.
Oh yeah. So that was after a festival we had here where we live, and it was very interesting because. Well, I don't know. After a long night, the last thing I thought we would do is have a toe stubbing competition. It was probably like 11:30 at night,
but it was very entertaining.
Yes.
Well, so we're also planning on making Deathmatch 3.
Yes, that is unlike the Bounty. We've actually started filming that. There's a lot done, but
we just have to put it together.
Personally, the plot twists we have planned in this are much better than any of our other films.
Yes.
But I have noticed it is going kind of quick. It's not as slow and progressive as the garage was, but that's kind of expected.
Yeah.
We have a much lower time period to do it in.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. So anyway, back to our origin story. Like Edison said, me and him met in Spanish class, but I mean, you have to tell me about the twins because I'm not really sure that whole story of how you met them.
Okay, so my brother Isaac, who is also in this group, he had known the twins for a while. They were both on the same soccer team. And
Okay.
he had started to become friends with them, and they had started to come over, and then I had started to hang out with them too. And then we all became pretty good friends. And we all had Xboxes, so we played Xbox together.
Yeah, that was probably the best part about it is there's nobody in the gang that has a PlayStation. We're all Xbox gang.
Oh, yeah.
There's a few of us that have like PCs, but that doesn't really matter, you know. So we all still game on generally the same stuff.
Yeah. And so one day, me and Colin were playing Apex Legends together.
Free to play. We're not sponsored though, but Apex, if you want to sponsor us, just email me.
Yes, definitely. And one of the twins joined the party, and
It was Lucas, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, Lucas joined, and he randomly just started saying a bunch of very random funny stuff.
You know, I do actually remember the first thing he said to me. It was, he goes, "I'm adopted," and he goes, "Hee," and I go, "Yeah, I can tell." Yeah.
Did you know they were actually adopted?
Well, I believed it as soon as they said that. I had no doubts whatsoever that they were not lying. Totally. I mean, if you watch some of the Lucas v. Loudon videos, that's literally not scripted in any way. Like the only thing that might be a little scripted is how it ends, but that's literally just I hit play and then we blind react to the twins just being themselves.
Yeah.
So if you find that entertaining, that's literally every day with them. So and we see them quite often, so it's not that abnormal.
Yes, and then so Isaac, my brother, had also known Isaac Ondrak,
Which
the other Isaac.
is the character in our films that dies in about 5 good minutes of screen time.
Yeah. And they were on the same baseball team and for a little bit soccer team.
Yes, it gets confusing because there's 2 Isaacs, there's 2 twins, and then there's me and Addison, and then but his name is really Nigel, but we call him Liam. No idea where that started. I guess it's something Isaac just started.
Yes.
But for simplicity's sake, Addison's brother is Isaac, and Andy is what we call the other Isaac because his last name it's a shorter version of his last name. We just found it simpler.
Yeah.
So if you're wondering who we are, like, because you know it's kind of hard to match faces to voices. If you were to watch our film, we literally use the same names in the films, so it's not too hard to figure out who's who.
Yeah.
I don't think so at all. It's very simple.
The only one that might be a little difficult is the twins because they look the same.
Oh yeah, if you couldn't tell them apart though, it's easy.
Yeah.
Right now, Lucas has a pretty mean beard going on, but
yeah.
Loudon not so much. That's the easiest way to tell them apart right now.
Yeah. So, and then Isaac Ondrak, or Andy, joined the group a little while later when Colin and the twins came over, and then Isaac also invited Andy over.
Oh, yeah. That's
and
right.
Then we went to this event, and we initiated him into Bot Gang.
Yeah, so it just started, like, technically I'm like the last person to join the group, because we met like a couple of years after everyone else did, but I decided to start the group, and honestly we had no good names, and we all kind of like we used to use the word bot a lot, and we were a gang, so Bot Gang became a thing, and then I went ahead and designed the logo for Bot Gang, and everybody, you know, memes about the color purple in our group, so I thought purple was a good color for us.
Yes. It definitely is.
So another thing that I always wonder when I go and rewatch our films is the fact that we always play the same roles, and that is not like usually it's either me or Isaac who's directing the film, because you know I don't really know why that is, but we're gonna try to change that soon. We have some future plans of maybe letting Adison or one of the twins direct a film.
Yes.
So if you see a film that one of the twins directed and it's just pure nonsense, that's why.
Yes.
But you know, that's a big thing is we all play the same role in every movie, and that is simply just because we all know how to play that role.
Yep.
I mean, Addison, what would you say your role is? You're like
My role is normally like the
second protagonist.
Yeah, the protagonist's like assistant. Or, I don't know.
Yeah, and you always seem to die too.
Yeah.
So does Adi though. To be fair.
True.
And yes, and then me and Isaac always have our little duel at the end. Usually involves him strangling me in some way, and then me shooting him. How violent!
Yes. And then, would you like to explain how Liam got in the group?
Yes. So I have a good buddy named Nigel who was actually in the same grade as Adison at school.
Yes.
And well, me and him met through a few other circumstances, which I don't honestly entirely remember. Just we have a Nintendo Switch Club at our school, and that's one of the ways I got to know him better. But it was pretty cool. But then we were going to see, man, what movie was that? I think it might have been Old. We went to see Old. It might have been that, and then I think Nigel tagged along. Either that or it was like Spider-Man. I don't entirely remember. But then we had a few like hangout sessions at the twins' house, and eventually we just decided to put him in our group because he was pretty much always hanging out with me and the twins.
Yes. He is a pretty cool dude. I knew him a little bit.
He's very interesting.
Yeah.
So another thing I wanted to talk about was the different like age ratings of our videos. Some of them are completely clean and are like okay for a young audience, and some of them are like older and more mature level. So if you want us to put like potentially a stamp at the beginning of the video that said like, you know, this is recommended for like 10 and older or 13 and older, we could totally do that. But
Yeah.
at the same time, you know, we're not gonna obviously go too crazy with it. Because
Yeah.
in general, we want it to be a cleaner channel.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. So we have another plan. We want to ask questions to each other. Some things that we don't really even talk about outside of out of this podcast. We'll save for this podcast just so you can hear for the first time.
Yes.
And something I also want to mention is we'll have different members each time. Sometimes it might be Adison and the twins. Sometimes it might be me, and who knows, maybe even the Isaacs. I kind of doubt that'll happen. If I can sit down the twins for 15 minutes to do a podcast, 15, 20 minutes, I'll be surprised as well. So just a fair warning, if you hear a little peacock screaming during any of the other podcasts, that is not scripted. So, in fact, none of this is. So,
Yes, that is just pure twins.
So anyway, me and Adison will both have a question we will ask if we are both, present during the podcast, which we'll try to have us both here every time, since we're kind of starting the podcast. But Adison, do you want to ask your question?
Yes. What is your favorite memory of Bot Gang?
See, that's a really good question because I have quite a few.
Yes.
But personally, so we went on a camping trip, which is one of the few trips we've been on together we actually didn't record. A lot of times, like when we went to the fair, we recorded that.
Yeah.
A lot of times we'll hang out. We'll just record a Lucas V. Loudon, or maybe we'll make a film.
Yeah.
But we went camping. Actually, not camping. It was more so just a getaway at a lodge somewhere close to us, and we just it was all 7 of us, because there are 7 of us in the group, and I just think it was really fun to have us all together.
Yes, it was. That was the time I first really hung out with Nigel for the first time.
Yeah. Oh
Liam.
yeah. But
that was pretty sick.
Yeah, and then I'd say that, and I have a lot of really good memories at my cabin too, which is actually where the bounty is filmed.
Yes.
We entirely filmed the bounty at the cabin, and Adison is not even in that film, but we're gonna put him in the second one. Yes. We're gonna try to get Nigel to be in the second one as well, but who knows if that's gonna happen? I guess you'll just have to wait and find out.
That would be interesting. Okay, Colin, do you want to ask your
question?
So,
everyone in Bot Gang is a Marvel fan. And everyone has the characters in Marvel they like, the films they like, the movies they like. What characters slash movies do you like the most, and what characters slash movies do you like the least?
Okay. So, before I answer, if you haven't watched Infinity Wars or Endgame or the movies, don't listen to this because there's gonna be spoilers.
Spoilers. I got you.
So my favorite character is obviously Iron Man.
Oh, okay. See, personally, I think that's generic. He's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
He's really cool, but I think a lot of people have him as their favorite.
Yeah, that's why I was super sad in Endgame because
His little death scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
There, you just got spoiled for you.
Yeah, if you haven't watched it, that's your own fault because we warned you.
Yeah. My favorite movie is definitely the Infinity Wars Endgame.
Okay.
But I also am a big fan of Captain America Civil War. I also very
that's a
much
good
like
one.
that movie.
Yeah.
My least favorite character would probably be Hulk.
Really?
I don't
Like
know.
out of everybody though. Like we're talking like newer characters too.
Well, I haven't seen many of the newer characters, but I don't like Miss Marvel. Terrible.
No, it was not a good show. I watched an episode. I'll probably watch the rest of it just so I'm caught up. But I'm not gonna enjoy it. I'll be straightforward with you guys. I'm not really gonna look forward to watching it.
Yeah, Marvel's went very downhill since Endgame.
Yes.
There's been a few good films, but overall it's went down.
Like Doctor Strange was good. Black Widow was pretty good.
Yeah.
Thor was not bad.
Thor wasn't bad. Morbius was.
Ooh, yeah.
We forget about that one.
I think even Jared Leto was talking about how he doesn't like the character Morbius. He literally talks about how he wishes he wasn't like in the MCU, and I don't think he is technically yet. But I did like the after credit scene though with Vulture.
Yeah, that was an interesting addition.
That was not bad. I think that'll be interesting.
Yeah. So,
what's your least favorite film?
Least favorite film. That's tough. I mean, I guess probably Morbius.
Okay, yeah.
But I also am not a huge fan of which one is it? I'm not a huge fan of the second Thor. It's okay. I feel like it could have been a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean all the Thors kind of. I feel like all the Thors had much more potential. Like
Yeah.
personally, the first one was really good, but
Yeah.
the next three were kind of like corny and darker or stupid. I don't know. Like that's something people talk about is how Thor's role in like Endgame and Infinity War was so much cooler than in his own personal movies.
Yeah. I also must say the Guardians of the Galaxy movies are awesome.
Yeah, they're like the standalone movies that somehow are better than when they're actually with the Avengers.
Yes.
Like they seem to be like if in the new Thor movie they seem so weak, but if you really think about it, they killed a planet. To be fair,
Yeah.
So they're not bad,
Yeah.
They're pretty solid.
good. And I must say, me and Collin here have started watching the show Daredevil.
Yeah. So far we're like 3 episodes in, but so far it's pretty good.
Yeah. If you haven't checked out the Defenders saga of Marvel, I very much recommend.
It's
kind of
like the Batman, like darker feeling sort of Marvel.
But it's very good.
It's like a mix of a superhero show and like John Wick almost.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty interesting. So personally, my favorite Marvel movie and characters, I really like the Guardians, all of them, but especially like Drax because I think he's hilarious. He's really funny. So the Guardians movies are probably tied for my favorite, but I also really like Black Panther. I think it's a good movie.
Yes, Black Panther is a very good
It's very underrated, I think.
Yeah.
Least favorite character? I'm going to have to say Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
The only reason I say that is because she is pretty cool and she is pretty strong, but she shows up at the most inconvenient times.
That is true.
Like in Endgame, she shows up just to destroy the ship and like punch like Thanos 2 times, and then that's like her whole purpose.
Yeah.
And I know that's a big purpose, but I feel like they would have figured it out without her.
Yeah. I feel like they could.
And then like the whole like actual crisis in Infinity War when they actually needed her, like 100% needed her, she wasn't there. So
yeah.
And it's just because she wasn't even in the MCU yet.
Yeah.
So for scheduling reasons, probably her. And then my least favorite film would probably also be her film.
Yeah.
I don't.
Captain Marvel.
It was okay.
It's definitely not the best.
Like, I liked Morbius, but the ending was just so inconclusive.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad of a movie, like, up until that point.
Honestly, I just didn't like Captain Marvel. Once she got her full power, the bad guy in the movie never really threatened her. Like,
Yeah, she's kind of just seems overpowered.
yeah.
Like, Wanda, she's definitely, I'd say, the strongest of all of them, right? But at least she always has some kind of weakness.
Mm-hmm.
And she seems like to be balanced in some ways.
Yeah.
Where Captain Marvel like has shown no weakness other than in like alternative versions, like What If, or the other version of her in Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway.
So, let us know in the comments what your favorite and least favorite Marvel.
Oh, yes, for sure. I'm very curious, because if there's actually anyone out there whose favorite is Morbius, please explain why, because I'm sorry, but you're stupid. No offense. So, Addison, you actually never even answered your own question. What is your favorite memory of the group?
My favorite memory of the group, man, that's tough. I've enjoyed a lot of hangouts. I've enjoyed a lot of sleepovers at the twins' house, a lot of sleepovers at your house.
Yeah.
A lot of
Campouts. Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot of campouts.
I didn't even think about the campouts. Those are good.
Yeah. We had a projector movie night here.
Oh
That
yeah.
was nice. We watched Gemini Man.
Oh yeah. That was not bad.
I would say the action scenes were really good. The plot was not very good.
I would agree. But right now, the twins and both Isaacs and I think your younger brother are all at a camp.
Yeah.
So it's just me and Addison right now. So, obviously we're not going to be filming anything during this next week, and we both have to work. So there's not going to be any like new videos anytime soon, other than of course the podcast.
Yes.
And we'll try to make it as often as we can. There's no guarantees it'll be weekly. We'll try to get them as often as we can. Yes. So anytime we get 2-3 people together, we'll try to get one out. We don't want to push it out and make it forced. We'll try to come up with fun topics.
Yep.
And that's why having special guests will be nice. So
yes, it will.
You might see some of my friends who aren't even in the group.
Yes.
Addison, you have anything else to say before we end it?
Peace out.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys.
Yep.
/ listening. Hopefully life's going good for you.
Yep.
And
have a great week.
Just a rough estimate. We'll try to have Deathmatch 3 in the next couple months.
Yeah, and hopefully.
And then Bounty probably by the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's the goal. No guarantees.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll catch you in episode 2.
Yep. See you later.